In the summer of 1988, Barney the Dinosaur would begin and wrap filming the first 3 home videos of the franchise: Barney and the Backyard Gang, The Backyard Show, 3 Wishes, and A Day at the Beach. These 3 tapes meant to be a standalone trilogy of kids' entertainment with no more planned to be made. In those first outings, the character's design was merely a starting point, bearing an unimaginable appearance to anyone only familiar with his look 30+ years in the future. After the popularity of these 3 VHS releases became apparent, Barney's creative team, the Lions Group, realized they couldn't leave their dinosaur behind. Eager to get back to writing and producing a new set of videos in the Barney and the Backyard Gang series. Another realization the crew had was of Barney himself.
What does that mean? I don't know. I don't speak dinosaur.
Understanding now that the character could come off somewhat frightening to kids at home, the Lions Group would immediately go back to the creators of the original Barney costume for a redesign. The Lions Group also quickly went back to read over not only the first few lines of the franchise's theme song, but the basis for the character himself. Barney is a dinosaur from our imagination. He comes to life from a stuffed animal of his likeness. At the time, the 3 available Barney and the Backyard Gang tapes had little to no real merchandise at all, the only existing merch being books and cassette tapes based on those first 3 stories and really nothing else. The stuffed dinosaur that Barney would transform from was not only never made again, even as an item for kids at home, but was more of an afterthought for the series as it was, being made not too long before filming would begin. Being that the toy initially bore the dark design and appearance from the first costume and the Lions Group's desire to bring Barney home to kids while they watched the home videos, the move to make a new plush was an important one. In 1989, production of the next set of Barney home videos would hit the ground, starting with a Christmas special now known as Barney and the Backyard Gang Waiting for Santa. Also in this same year, the final tape in the initial trilogy, Barney's A Day at the Beach, would be released. On certain prints of this tape would be a message, spouted by Barney the Dinosaur before the program would start.
Hi kids, I'm Barney the Dinosaur. Guess what? Now you can join my fan club. Just send me your name and address and I'll send you a special surprise through the mail. Ooh, gotta go. It's almost time for my show. See you later.
The Barney Fan Club, started and run by series creators Cheryl Leach and Kathy Parker, would open up on January 27, 1989. Parents could sign their child up and later receive a package in the mail from the Lions Group containing a stuffed plush doll of Barney. But before that, we should take a look at the continuation that prompted this. In 1990, Barney and the Backyard Gang, Waiting for Santa, would hit store shelves, with the same cast as before, an entirely redone intro theme, and a new Barney. When kids would pop in the tape, they'd be greeted not only with the Barney Fan Club promo from before, but this as well. Barney's redesign is now much brighter and friendlier, his voice even having been brought slightly higher to match.
Well, it's Christmas Eve, and I thought it would be fun to slide down the chimney like Santa. But don't you do it. It hurts.
With this also came the new doll. What's interesting is that although the fan club would open and the new doll would feature in the newly edited series' opening, it was nowhere to be seen in the video itself. Rather than coming to life from the doll, Barney slides down the chimney in the beginning and falls asleep at the end. In fact, the only footage of the newly designed plush to be presented in the show's opening derived from the second tape released with Barney's brighter design, Campfire Sing-Along. It's entirely possible that these 2 tapes were the only footage the Lions Group had readily filmed and available by the time this new intro had been constructed. This is also evident by the fact that the original Barney costume was shown in this intro not once, not twice, but 3 times, as a result of a possible lack of stock footage. The opening shot of Barney from the intro is from the 1990 release of Barney's Campfire Sing-Along, in which Tina is handed the plush from her mother to fall asleep with. This doll and its design from the home videos is the same type of doll that would be sent to anyone that would mail in for the Barney Fan Club.
Everybody loves Barney, and now you can have your very own toy Barney. Join the fan club and find out how.
The Lions group sent in to many different toy companies in order to have toys made for their purple dinosaur, only to be turned down again and again. Eventually, toy company Dakin would take the helm and produce these new plush in time for the series' reinventing. To match with his new colors, the Barney is now a very strong purple. With inspiration taken from the original, he maintains the same arm-open stance with his tail resting on the ground to balance. This new look serving as a near-perfect evolution with certain liberties taken. The individual T-Rex fingers abandoned in favor of stubs. Oddly, the yellow toes previously present wouldn't make their way onto the new plush. This takes a signature feature prominent to Barney's character design away from the plush, but in a way helps to streamline the doll into being more to that of a normal teddy bear than anything else. Before, Barney's mouth was represented with a pink strip. Now, serving as a friendly invite as well as an eye catch, Barney is fitted with a white strip, meant to act as his white teeth greeting you with a smile. The Barney doll was produced by Dakin, sent over to the Lions group, to which it was then distributed to the many members of Barney's new and growing fan club. The initial first run of these plush featured Barney's white smile. However, the smile itself was applied as a thin string stretching across the front of Barney's face. With this being so, it was deemed to be a potential choking hazard, leading to the eventual removal of the mouth entirely for all future dolls that would be sent out, making these first dolls exceptionally rare. Barney and the Backyard Gang would continue to utilize the Dakin plush doll design with the mouth intact for the rest of its video production. It would be featured in 3 of the 5 remaining home videos in the series, being Campfire Sing-Along, Barney Goes to School, and the final tape, Rock with Barney. Being that so many of the dolls were produced, it's inevitable that they'd all differ very slightly in appearance. This would apply for fan club members as well as the actual videos themselves, as it appears 3 different Barney plush were used for each video it would be seen in. In Rock with Barney, Barney's mouth appears exceptionally thin, almost unnoticeable on camera. While in Barney Goes to School, the mouth still appears thin, but the head shape is a tad different. However, in the doll's first appearance from Barney's Campfire Sing-Along, a doll would be used that does not appear to be of the same kind sent off to fan club members. This version of Barney looks substantially different than the ones many would receive, with a white mouth thicker and more prominent, as well as the color being much darker. It's thought that the dolls used for Campfire Sing-Along and Barney Goes to School were specifically made for the production, as opposed to being pulled from the batches sent off to fan club members. Whatever the case may be, any version of Dakin's Backyard Gang Barney design is considered somewhat rare, many being sold online for hundreds of dollars.
And these actually, the 6-inch one we only did as promotional items, so there was only 6,000 of these made. But the 14-inch, we did more.
It's possible the plush ceased production around 1991, as by that time a deal had been secured to bring Barney and his friends to PBS, and the Lions group signed on with many different companies to produce merchandise with new designs for the upcoming series. Dakin themselves had even created and started producing new designs for Barney plush that would become influential for companies and their products involving the character. Dakin having made so many of these Backyard Gang dolls over the few years they were sent out resulted in each Barney differing in appearance ever so slightly. Take mine for example. Your Barney is almost guaranteed to differ visually in the slightest ways compared to that of someone else's. This creates a sense of personality and value alongside the rarity of the plush itself.
You're right. Barney is special, isn't he?
The doll was the one and only time kids at home could own a Barney plush exactly as it was seen in the source material. After the Backyard Gang series would wrap, this would never happen again. It's possible the Lions group wanted to sculpt a new doll as evidence starting from the first season of Barney and Friends and to maintain its unique nature separate from the off-screen merchandise. Another reason involves more serious matters, as there are American laws in place that forbid showing legitimate merchandise that can be bought during children's programming. If Barney and Friends carried the Backyard Gang doll over as the main show plush, it could have possibly been seen as advertising and therefore illegal. Either way, the decision to create an entirely new design worked in the show's favor, giving a new sense of originality and creativity to the franchise. New dolls continued to not only pop up and be sold online, but found out in the wild day by day. Over 30 plus years later, and Barney and the Backyard Gang continues to remain an integral piece of the character's long-standing history, with his plush iteration keeping the hearts of many as full and strong as their own collective imaginations, as well as allowing fans around the world to feel as though they too were once part of Barney's Backyard Gang. Thank you to Emilia, Cameron, Junior the Hedgehog, Common J, Megley, and Nerdy Disney for supporting the stage.